Hello. Okay, let me see if I can share it. Hi. Hold on a sec. We're getting started. Let's see. Are we okay? Good. Hi, Laura. Hi, Adam. Okay, I want to how do I do this? There it is. Okay, I'm going to share. Hold, please. Share. Do this. Share. Share. Okay. Hi, everybody. Welcome. Can everybody hear me okay? This is Thomas. Say hi if
hello,
you can
everyone.
Hear us. Not you. I mean, but
I mean, no, I know. Said hello also. I'm assisting.
Oh, good. Okay. Angie can see us and hear us. Yay, Laura. So, hi guys, this is Megan and Thomas. We're a little bit early. Ooh, now we're right on time. But we're gonna wait just a second to let everyone have a chance to get online. This is our first live. Yay. Is this your first live ever?
No.
Maybe. I mean, I guess it's not my first live ever, but it's certainly my first live like this.
Right, in a professional capacity.
Sure. Because all my other lives have been unprofessional.
Not exactly what I meant, but okay.
Hey, Tiana. Oh, good. Hi. Angie says hi to you.
Oh, hello, Angie.
This is not this is a time I should have brought my glasses because you're going to see a lot of this from me. But that's fine. That's fine. So, welcome to our quarantine party. Here we are.
Yay.
Hey, Sarah. Hey, Vicky. In case you're wondering who this guy is, this is Thomas. He's my fiance. And if you needed anything else to stress about, try planning a wedding in 2020 during coronavirus outbreak. It's super fun, not at all stressful. So that's if you ever just down and you're like, man, at least you can count your blessings that you're not planning a wedding in 2020. Yeah?
It presents a unique set of challenges.
But we did decide that we could have a Facebook Live wedding if all else fails. We could just invite everyone to join in to Facebook Live and we'll just get married here in this living room. Yeah? Yeah, Sarah says it's going to be great. No worries. Sam is excited that I called you my fiance. Isn't that a fun word? I mean, you don't have a long time to use it, so might as well.
Right.
Okay.
Fancy.
Well, welcome everybody. Glad you're here. This is Megan's Movie Club, and I'm Megan, so thanks for joining. We are going to talk tonight about Some Like It Hot. Did everybody watch Some Like It Hot? Hey, Tanisha! How's it going? We miss you so much. Come visit after all this is over, please. Hi, Brian. So, everybody doing okay at home? Everybody social distancing well and staying sane and staying hydrated and washing your hands lots and all of those things?
I could be doing better.
Oh, hi, there's my dad.
Oh, hello.
He needs...
I would like to help you.
My mom and dad are trying to watch this Facebook Live from another room. And you say hi.
Hello, everyone.
Yeah, he can't... We're social distancing, so he's...
Stay safe.
Stay safe.
Make wise decisions.
There we go. There. Take that back. Okay.
Yep.
Good. We got the parents all settled. So glad that's happening.
Tech support provided courtesy of MacCentric.
Yeah.
That's right.
Okay, so Some Like It Hot. How many of you were watching Some Like It Hot for the first time this week? Anybody? Give me a little. Thomas did. Hey, Megan's did. Thomas watched it for the first time. And lots of people did. Good. Okay. I know some of you, it's like your favorite movie ever. I heard comments that you watched it many, many times, and some of you are watching it for the first time. Let me tell you a little bit about it. It's directed by a guy named Billy Wilder, who's an immigrant from Vienna by way of Berlin. He got his movie career started in Berlin and then hightailed it out of Germany when Hitler came into power. which was smart. And he ended up in Hollywood, taught himself to speak English, and became one of America's greatest directors. He was probably not the nicest guy as a person, but was a good director and got good performances out of people. So Thomas, is going to help me. It's hard to talk and read all these comments at the same time, but I'm going to do my best. So Thomas is going to show us some of Billy Wilder's other movies. We have Double Indemnity. Yeah. And let me tell y'all a hack that I learned today, that you flip the picture. This picture looks backwards to me, but hopefully it looks the right way to you. And if it doesn't, forgive me, because we're new at this. Okay, what else you got, Thomas? Sunset Boulevard. There we go. So these are not comedies, if you'll notice. That was a film noir. Sunset Boulevard is a little noirish as well. The Lost Weekend, also a very serious drama. So Billy Wilder has some range. Witness for the Prosecution. Guys, I was in this play when I was a junior in high school, Captain Shreve High School. So memories. And then he also gets into some comedies. This is a fun word to say, Ninochka, starring Greta Garbo. That's a famous romantic comedy. We have Sabrina, also famous. The Apartment, starring our buddy Jack Lemmon, who we all know from Some Like It Hot. And then another one of my favorites, 7 Year Itch. So you can tell that he has some favorites that he keeps coming back to, like no, not that one, like Jack Lemmon and Marilyn Monroe. Let's see. Tiana loves Sunset Boulevard. Witness has a great poster, says Sarah. Yes. Go Gators. Yay. Chomp 'em. Some Like It Hot is one of his, he's got a lot of famous and a lot of well-respected films, but Some Like It Hot is one of the most kind of acclaimed films that he made. It's based on, it's a remake of a German film, Fanfare of Love. He tweaked it a little bit. He gave it a good old American mafia twist in the plot line. It won it won one Academy Award for Best Costume, of all things. It was nominated for Best Actor with Jack Lemmon. Billy Wilder was nominated for Best Director, Best Screenplay, Cinematography, and Art Direction. So it was popular, it was well respected, and we're still watching it over 60 years later. So Wilder was adamant about filming in black and white. Even though it was 1959, he could have been filming in color. This guy's funny. In black and white, and he cited two reasons. The Apartment was a dramedy. You're right, Judy. That is correct. Can you guess what are the two reasons why Billy Wilder was adamant about filming this in black and white, even though color was available? Let's see. Hard to find heels in large sizes in 1959. Correct, Whitney. It's probably still hard to find heels in large sizes. Yes. Bad drag makeup. Laura Nugent is our Shreveport's resident Marilyn Monroe expert, by the way. So once they got Tony Curtis and Jack Lemmon into their makeup and women's dress and wigs, they looked, in Wilder's words, garish in color. So they had to tone it down a bit by filming it in black and white. And there's one other reason. Any other guesses? You got any guesses? Why they would film it in black and white, other than toning down the makeup?
Oh, I think I do know.
Let's see, hang on. Because I told you already? Is that why you know?
Maybe.
All right, give it a guess.
Is it because they wanted it to have a more period, flashbacky feel?
Very good, Thomas.
Yes.
Since it was filmed, since it was set in the 20s, I guess it was filmed in 20... They say it at the beginning. Laura probably knows. Yeah, maybe 29, somewhere in the 20s. I think it was 29. They wanted it to look more like it was in that period. So they wanted it to make it kind of feel like it was filmed in that time period.
Correct, that person.
Yes, Elizabeth, nostalgia for black and white movies. Very good. Since it was set in the past, they wanted it to look like it was in the past. 1929. Thanks, Whitney. Okay, so AFI, America's Film Institute, right? AFI. They rank this as the #1 comedy of all time. Do you agree? Did you think it was funny? Did you like it? What did you think of Some Like It Hot? Let's hear. I'm going to take a sip of my Diet Coke. Did you like it?
I liked it fine.
You liked it fine. Vicky liked it. Karen liked it. If that's what Karen means by whoa, I think it means she liked it. Did you stay awake through the whole movie?
I did not.
You did not. Thomas is not allowed to have a vote because he slept through part of the movie. Whitney says it's maybe not the funniest of all time, but she did laugh a lot. The comedy and comedic timing is timeless, yes. It was a fine hoot. Lots of great one-liners. I love this movie. Tiana, it's funny, but maybe not the funniest of all time. It was not only hilarious, it holds up really well. Lemon was a genius. Yes, good. Pretty funny, but it's a bold claim. Yes, it is. My parents watched it for the first time, and they also said they liked it, but my dad's comment was it was a little slow at times. I'm completely on board. I think it's hilarious. Let me tell you what this guy, I have some quotes. This guy named Sam Wasson, he wrote an essay for it for the Criterion Collection. He says, assuming the picture is clear, the volume is turned on, and you don't hate film, the greatness of Billy Wilder's Some Like It Hot will be obvious to you completely and immediately. So some other things that critics say about it are that none of the characters in the film are good. They all are kind of scoundrels, and they're all, except for Sugar. Sugar's not a scoundrel, but they're all lying and cheating to kind of benefit themselves. And we should kind of hate them because they're not very. None of the people in this film are very honest. However, it ends up with a happy ending. It's like no one's hurt in all this deception and lying and cheating and scrambling to get ahead. Everyone kind of benefits mutually from it. The gangster story kind of dragged at times. Yeah. Criterion. Yay, Brant. Hey, Brant. So we got a lot of kind of anti-heroes and maybe unlikable people you wouldn't want to be friends with maybe in real life, but it makes for a good story. It makes for some funny scenes. Also, hey, do y'all know about the Hays Code? Thomas, do you know about the Hays Code?
I don't know about the Hays Code, Megan. Why don't you tell us?
Sugar is a scoundrel. You're right. She is a scoundrel. She's lying to get a rich man. You're right. Maybe I just have a really soft spot for Sugar, so I don't want to say anything bad about her. Hey, Sandy. It was a little dated. Sandy was not a fan. That's okay. So you can join the conversation even if you didn't like it. It is a little dated, but at the same time, I feel like it's also really forward-thinking for 1959 and incorporates some themes that audiences weren't super comfortable with at that time. I mean, we're a lot more used to some of those themes now, but that leads me back to the Hays Code. So, it wasn't approved, Vicky. She said, I'm surprised the film was approved. They went on, they kind of went outside of the Hays Code to make this film. So the Hays Code was before the rating systems, before we had G and PG and all the way to X, there was either approved or not approved by the Hays Code. And there were lots of rules. You had to... you couldn't talk about sex. You couldn't show men and women sleeping in the same room unless you had like a sheet or a curtain or some kind of barrier between them. You couldn't... drinking was frowned upon. Crime was bad. If you did commit a crime or did do something amoral, you had to be punished in the movie. The character would have to be punished. And so Some Like It Hot kind of throws all that to the wind and says, no, we're going to kind of celebrate all of those things. When Daphne hosts that cocktail party in her bed on the train, there's certainly no curtains separating any of the women there. So it's considered to be kind of the nail in the coffin of the Hays Code because audiences clearly didn't care. They came out and saw it. It was a huge box office hit, and it kind of showed the motion picture board that people didn't care if a movie was approved or not. Hello, it's ahead of its time. Yes, Karen, I'm with you. Okay, so next up, let's talk about this lady, our friend Marilyn. You know, those of you that are Facebook Live experts, there's probably more high-tech ways to incorporate visual media into your live, but this is the way we're doing it with printed out pieces of paper. But hey, Marilyn, gosh, don't we love her? I mean, I love Marilyn Monroe. She's just got it all. She's got it all. What am I doing here? All my comments are... Ken likes the movie more now that he knows all of that. Good. So what do we think of Marilyn? Do you love her? Why do you love her? Because yes is the correct answer to do you love Marilyn Monroe. But really what I want to know is why. What is it about her that's so special? Thanks, Sarah. Sarah likes my low-tech visual aids. Whitney loves, I think, Marilyn. Maybe she's talking about me. Either's fine. Do you like Marilyn Monroe?
Sure.
I seem to remember those were the times when you were most awake.
Oh, my.
When Marilyn was on screen.
Is that correct? She has a certain quality,
I
would say, as the French
How
say.
would you describe it?
Je ne sais quoi.
Yeah. Well, how would you describe it?
I'm very cultured.
Yeah, you are very cultured.
Yes.
What do you like about Marilyn?
I mean, she's bubbly.
She's
confident.
She's confident. She's bubbly. She's sexy. She's innocent. Yes, there's Brian. She has a childlike innocence that's really appealing. But at the same time, she's like undeniably sexy too. Beautiful yet vulnerable. Yes, timeless beauty. Tragic life. Laura said this in the event earlier that that the mystery surrounding her personal life really adds to the appeal of her on screen and off screen. So people are just fascinated with her. They're fascinated with her life and her story. She was very progressive for her time. Yes, correct. She was lovely. She's hilarious too. Now, she was kind of a pill to work with. Let me tell you first of all what Roger Ebert said about her in this movie. He described her as, if y'all read that, I posted a link on our event page. And in this review that Roger Ebert wrote, he described her as being poured into a dress with a neckline scooping to a censor's eyebrow north of trouble. Love that. Also, when he describes her first scene singing into the yes, Sandy, I'll get back to that in a second. But he describes her scene singing in the nightclub. He says, to experience that scene is to understand why no other actor, male or female, has ever had more sexual chemistry with the camera than Monroe. So Sandy says that Tony Curtis said that kissing her was like kissing Hitler, which he did say. Although he's a good actor because he appears to be enjoying it. So she was kind of hard to work with. She couldn't remember her lines. She was always late. She had addiction problems. And like, for instance, here's one story. She couldn't, when she walks into the room after she's been broken up with and she asks for the bourbon, she opens the drawer and says, "Where's the bourbon?" She couldn't remember the line. She kept mixing it up. She kept forgetting what she was supposed to say. And so they opened the drawer and taped her line in the drawer. So when she opened it, she would see the line written right there. But then she opened the wrong drawer. And so they ended up posting the line in all of the drawers. But when you go back and watch that scene, it seems completely spontaneous and she delivers it perfectly. So even if she was a pill to work with, the performance is fantastic. So I'd say, this is doing weird things again. There we go. Yeah, and Judy says she was apparently extremely insecure, caused lots of problems on movie sets. Here's what Billy Wilder said about her, and I love this quote. Billy, because we're buddies, first name basis. He said, "My Aunt Minnie would always be punctual and would never hold up production, but who would pay to see my Aunt Minnie?" Which is a good point. Oh, hey, you're so close.
Oh, hey.
Your face is so close to my face.
I'm here too.
Yeah, and so, yeah, there's a lot that can be tolerated when you turn out a performance like she did, and when you look like she does, and when you can deliver a line like she does. That was the realest she seemed the whole movie, yeah. And Deborah says that the security thing got old after a while. Meghan and Billy's BFF, yep. That's what they say. Meghan and Billy, BFF forever. Okay, so let's talk about... along with Jack Lemmon, she makes the movie. Yes, Jack Lemmon is hilarious. Okay, what were your funniest moments of the movie? What scenes did you love? What quotes did you love? I have some quotes from the event that y'all posted earlier this week. But what were the parts, even for those of you that thought the movie was slow at times and drug a little bit, what were the funniest parts to you? I'll start. I have more pictures for you. Love the scene with Daphne and the girls in the in his little bed compartment place. Yeah, hilarious. And I think the line when Dolores first, yes, the train, yes, that's what I like too. When Dolores is the first girl to climb up, she goes, "Is this a private clam bake or can anyone join?" I thought that was hilarious. Also Jack Lemmon tells her that Daphne. So Daphne / Jerry tells Sugar that he's got a surprise for her, and then tells her to take a sip of whiskey, and she goes, "Oh, that'll put hair on your chest." And he says, "No fair guessing that's what the surprise is that he has hair on his chest." Hey, Betty. Betty loved Joe Brown in his closing line. Yes, we'll get there. Vicky loved the cocktail party. All of the double entendres, yes, especially on the train, the cocktail shaker, yeah. Oh, and that liquor cabinet. And he said, "Oh, what a liquor cabinet," when she puts her flask back in her garter. Jack Lemmon's a favorite. He's the best actor in the whole movie. Loved him with the maracas. That's my other favorite scene. I have a picture of that too. Tony Curtis's voice for the rich guy. Okay, thank you, Ken. Good question. I'm going to ask this next question.
I noticed this too.
You noticed this too, yeah, but you don't get to answer.
Okay.
So Tony Curtis as Junior, the Shell Oil heir, is impersonating another famous Hollywood leading man. So who knows who that was? Who is he channeling when he's the rich guy?
I know, but
yeah,
I'm not going to answer that. I'm going to let the people at home answer, but I knew.
Deborah loves the line about watch where you put that corkscrew. Karen Wissing loves "Nobody's perfect." Yes, we're going to get to the ending. One of the best ending lines of all time.
Oh.
Yes, Vicky says Cary Grant. Correct. So he's doing a good Cary Grant impression when he's pretending to be Junior, the Shell Oil heir. And he's hilarious as that too. Sandy got it right as well. All right, let's see what... Oh, and yeah, so this is my other favorite scene. After Daphne and Osgood get engaged, and Daphne is telling Tony Curtis's character about it, and he's trying to convince her, like, "Hey, this is not a good idea. You should not marry this guy, or you cannot marry this guy." And she's just convinced. Daphne's convinced that this is what needs to happen. And he says... Joe says, "Jerry, there's a problem. Like, what are you going to do on your honeymoon?" And Daphne says, "We've been discussing that. He wants to go to the Riviera, but I kind of lean towards Niagara Falls." It's not what he was talking about, but it's a funny line. I read Cary Grant said, "I don't talk like that." Yeah, I'm sure he didn't appreciate it. Hi, Thomas Presley. How's it going? Yes, Whitney says, "Yes, too funny. I'm engaged." He was thrilled with the maracas and the bed. He just had a lovely night of dancing the tango with his new fiance.
Yeah.
And then was just set on getting married to Osgood. Here's something else that I thought was really funny. I mean, this isn't really funny, but just interesting. So when they go onto the yacht, they keep talking up the cold pheasant. "Would you love to come to my yacht and have cold pheasant?" So if this were another time, I would have had cold pheasant for us to eat here, but It's hard to come by. Times are hard. I don't really want to venture out to the grocery store unless I have to. So, but have you ever tried cold pheasant? If you have, would you pair it with mint sauce or cranberries? They had both as an option on the yacht. Yeah, Tiana says that was an unexpected twist of him falling in love with the real rich guy. Love Daphne's reaction. I did too. I'm with y'all. Aside from Marilyn, who I think is amazing, Jack Lemmon really made the movie. His performance is hilarious. All right, any cold pheasant takers? Pheasant isn't on your essentials list? Sorry, I did not stock up with the pheasant. Vicky's going to eat it with mint, and Karen's eating it with cranberry. So y'all are going to have both options at your Thanksgiving meal at your house. Cranberry. I would like it with mint. What about you?
I think so too.
Cold pheasant with mint. I even thought about like getting just some turkey cold cuts and rolling them up and putting some mint jelly on it for tonight, but we didn't.
There's still time.
We might do that later. Yeah. We'll check in with you after the live. And see, we may feast on cold pheasant later or turkey roll-ups, one of the two. Okay, Sarah asked a great question today from my friend Sarah Abear. Hey, Sarah. She said, if someone were to remake Some Like It Hot today, who would you cast as Sugar, Joe, and Jerry today? I had to think long and hard about it. I'd love to hear your answers, so go ahead and type your answers in now. In the meantime, I'll tell you who I would cast. So as Sugar, this is an easy one for me, Beyonce. Just like Marilyn Monroe, I think Beyonce can do no wrong. She's the queen. She's beautiful. She's going to be the perfect Sugar. She's going to bring a little something different than Marilyn brought because she's just oozes confidence and doesn't have really any of that insecurity, but she's absolutely Sugar. Then let's see, for Joe / Josephine / Junior, I think Ryan Reynolds. That's my pick. Whitney says maybe Jude Law. Also, I think Winston Duke would be really good for that. Chris Pratt, yes. Oh, Chris Pratt is Daphne. Okay, that's a good pick. Winston Duke, you remember him maybe from Black Panther. Loved him in Black Panther. Had a big crush on him in Black Panther. But then also he starred in Us with, help me out. Lupita Nyong'o. And he was the dad, and you got to see a different side of him. So he's got definitely the hot side, but then he's got the goofy side too. So I think Winston Duke would be good. You know that Ryan Reynolds is hilarious and dapper. He can do the junior part really well. Now my pick for Daphne / Jerry is Taika Waititi. He is hilarious, especially after, I liked him in his character in Thor Ragnarok and Avengers 2. Yes. But his depiction of Hitler in Jojo Rabbit, I think he's hilarious. I think he definitely has the comedic chops to be Daphne. So let's see what y'all say. Angie likes, I would never cast Beyonce. Oh, Tiana. It's rude. I'm personally offended by your Beyonce comment. J-Lo would be good as Sugar, yeah. She's a little older, but that's okay. Neil Patrick Harris is Joe. I'm trying to remember which one Joe is. Yeah, Neil Patrick Harris would be great. He's great in everything. Jude Law is good. Chris Pratt is good. You know, I also thought of Chris Hemsworth as Daphne because he can be really funny too. So you need someone for Daphne. You need someone really over the top, I think, that can really just kind of be goofy. My dad, in case anyone's wondering, he likes J-Lo for Sugar. Thanks, Dave, for chiming in. I know you love Beyonce, but you need to get on board. Beyonce as Sugar would do it, I promise. Okay. Colbert is Daphne. Yes. Colbert is Daphne. Good choice. Okay, I think J-Lo is really winning the contest for Sugar, which is fine. I'm okay with that. I do love her very much. And her legs. She's got the legs for the part for sure. Well, I got to tell what we're doing first. Oh, okay. We're transitioning
I was eager to participate.
Thomas is doing such a good job.
Thanks.
Chris Hemsworth, she's on board with that. Lee Pace for Daphne. Yeah, I love Lee Pace, and I miss Pushing Daisies. That was one of my favorite shows. Lee Pace would be great. Good call. So, guys, we just need some money. Let's round up some money, and we can produce this movie. I think we got a winner on our hands. Okay, some other drag movies that are fun. There's some serious drag movies. There's funny drag movies. We're sticking with funny because the theme of this series of Meghan's Movie Club is comedies. I do not want to be serious during this time. I do not want to watch anything sad because the world is sad enough. Right. So I'm only watching feel-good movies. Sarah tells you to pay attention. Right. I'm only watching feel-good movies. I'm only watching things that make me laugh. So we're going to talk about some of your favorite drag movies. Let's see. Jane and Deborah both picked Tootsie. Hilarious. Good one. Let's see what else. Okay, Whitney. Whitney liked this one. Mrs. Doubtfire and Vicky. They both like Mrs. Doubtfire. That's a good one. Love Robin Williams. What else do we have? Okay, Laura and Meghan. Meghan C, not Meghan H. To Wong Fu, Thanks for Everything, Julie Newmar. Longest movie title in the world. Love it. Let's see. Oh, this was Adam's pick, The Birdcage. It's one of my favorites as well. They're dancing. Yeah, y'all are doing great. Keep going with your ideas. One of my favorite drag movies is Victor Victoria. Guys, this is kind of like Some Like It Hot, where there's deception after deception and layers after layers and all this gender bending. This is Julie Andrews. She's pretending to be a man in order to get a job as a drag performer, pretending to be a woman. So she's a woman pretending to be a man, pretending to be a woman. So good. Y'all watch it. Kinky Boots. Thank you, Robert. It's in here somewhere, I promise. Love Wong Fu. Great. Rocky Horror Picture Show. I think Brian suggested this right before we got on live. Classic. Maybe the most famous drag movie ever. Birdcage is hilarious. Yes, it is. Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. Drag going to Australia. Mulan. I was really excited about the remake of Mulan that's now been pushed to who knows when. But love the story of Mulan. Here we go. Robert, here's your pick. Kinky Boots. Before it was a Broadway musical, it was a movie starring Chiwetel Ejiofor, which is a really fun name to say. You need to watch more movies. Yes, Karen. That's what we're here for. We're here to help. And you got time now. You got time so you can watch movies. Any other good drag picks that I missed? Deborah likes all of them. And she thinks Some Like It Hot is obviously where the whole idea came from. If you want to go a little further back than Some Like It Hot, you can go all the way back to Shakespeare. He has a lot of drag comedies, like As You Like It. What else? Twelfth Night. So yeah, we can trace it back to Shakespeare and even maybe a little before that. But as far as modern Hollywood goes, Some Like It Hot definitely set the standard. Hey, Ken. Ken is my Shakespeare expert. Laura's my Maryland expert, and Ken is my Shakespeare expert.
Ladybugs. No one said Ladybugs.
Ladybugs is a good one. Yeah.
Jonathan Brandis.
Yeah.
Rodney Dangerfield.
You're right. It's on my list. I just couldn't get to everything. Sorry. It's all right. All right. So we're gonna be wrapping up. So Daphne and Josephine, there they are. These beautiful ladies. How do we think they did? How would RuPaul grade them? Would they make it on RuPaul's Drag Race? What are our comments on their performance as Daphne and Josephine? Thanks, Judy. We're going to do it again. We're going to do it every Thursday. Just so you know, if you've never done a live before, the comments are a little behind because it's not exactly live. There's just a little few second lag. So I gotta wait a minute to your comments catch up. Ken's complimenting you on your talents.
On my entrances and
they would not make it. Sarah says they would not make it. Bye. I think they did okay. They didn't have a lot of lead time. They didn't have a lot of training. They were just kind of thrown into this gig. I can't believe they got their wigs wet. They wore heels. That's more than I can. Same, Karen. I do not wear a heel. I do not. I got white Toms for my wedding if and when it happens. Yeah, Brittany thinks that RuPaul would tell them they could do better. Bye, Judy. We'll see you next time. Put your camera sideways. What? We tried, Sarah. I need a tutorial from you. We practiced last night and we couldn't do it right. But I'll let you. I'll let you teach me your ways.
We tried. We turned it and we'd say, you can't do this. Turn it the other way. So I just thought that was a thing. Facebook
so
Live
we're going to end with the... before you go, I'm going to announce next week's movie. But we're going to end with one of the best closing lines of all time. We got Osgood and Jerry here. And Jerry tries to tell him all the reasons why they can't get married. She can't have babies. She's not going to fit into his mother's wedding dress. She smokes. She has a terrible past and everything. Osgood, he's fine with it. So finally he rips off his wig and says, I'm a man. And one of the most famous ending lines in movie history, he says, well, nobody's perfect. Peter Bradshaw from The Guardian says, nobody's perfect is the last line, but Walder, Lemon, Curtis, and Monroe come pretty close. So thank you so much for joining us. I want to tell you about next week's movie. Like I said, don't reveal it too early.
I'm so excited about it. I love this movie.
Like I said, I'm doing comedies and I'm getting silly. I want to laugh. I want to not think about anything bad. I want to just have a good time. So for next week's movie, you have a whole week to watch it. We are going to watch The Naked Gun from 1988. You can find it on Netflix. If you don't have Netflix, you can rent it off of iTunes or any other streaming rental service. And the event will go up this evening. Please join our event and join in the conversation throughout the week. We can talk about lots of fun things, and then we'll do it live here on Thursday at 6:30. Y'all are the best. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please come back next week. Thomas will be here again, I hope.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, good.
Where else would I be?
Where else? Nowhere.
Yeah.
We're quarantining.
Yeah.
You're my quarantine buddy.
That's true.
Good. Okay, I'm glad you all you like Naked Gun. Okay, so get ready to be silly, because this is super silly. We're going to have a fun time. And join our event, which will be up tonight around 8, maybe a little bit earlier. And I love you all. Bye. How do we stop it? Like this?
Yeah, finish.
Finish.
There we go.